Thanks for watching. I wanted to fill you guys in on a very, very important aspect of our business on set selling. My party average ranges between $1,000 and $3,000, and people often ask, how do you do that? Well, I'm going to tell you guys just how. First of all, you want to know your products. So I am here tonight to tell you all about our 4 systems that we have in Tupperware. And I am hoping that you leave tonight with enough knowledge to carry on to your parties and your customers that will help bring your party average up. The 4 systems you see behind me, they are staples for every single kitchen. Nobody in the world should be without these 4 systems. These 4 products are going to save people money over and over again. The 4 products I am going to be talking about tonight are Fridge Smarts, Vent and Serves, Freeze It containers, and the ever popular modular mate. These 4 products are a staple in every kitchen, and they're going to save you
time, money, waste, space, and taste.
I'm going to start tonight with our Fridge Smarts. With Fridge Smarts, we actually offer a controlled, airtight environment for your produce. You guys all have this little guy here. This is our small deep. This little guy here came in your kit, so you might be a little bit familiar with it already. But I am going to give you a complete rundown on the Tupperware Fridge Smarts, so you can go into those parties with confidence and sell an $84 set of Fridge Smarts versus just a $19 Fridge Smart. Fridge Smarts were introduced about 20 years ago, and they have been redesigned a couple of times. You may remember the round Fridge Smart for your head of lettuce, but we have came a long way since then. Tupperware wanted a product that could not only save your lettuce, but all other kinds of fruits and vegetables. So they have redesigned the Fridge Smarts to do just that. You all have crisper drawers in your refrigerator, say yes? They have one setting for vegetables and one setting for fruit. What you don't know, however, is that they're not doing you a bit of good. Let me tell you why. Fruits and vegetables breathe at 3 different levels. They are either heavy breathers, medium breathers, or light breathers. For example, broccoli is a heavy breather. So when you find broccoli on your chart on the front of your Fridge Smart, he's got a wide open circle next to him, meaning that he needs a lot of air. So you're going to take your vent on the top and match this up with a wide open circle and vent accordingly. Cauliflower, on the other hand, is a medium breather, so he needs a medium level of air. He has a circle that is halfway filled in, so we're going to vent accordingly on the top. Wait a minute, did I just say that broccoli is a heavy breather and cauliflower is a medium breather?
Then what are they doing in the same drawer in people's fridge?
It just doesn't make sense. Berries, for example, are light breathers. They don't need a lot of air. Well, that's funny, because when you go to the grocery store and buy your strawberries, aren't the containers that they come in full of holes? That baffles me. They don't need a lot of air, so why are they coming in containers like that? My advice to you is to take out the crisper drawers. I don't even call them crisper drawers. In my book, they're the rot drawers or the limper drawers. You know, you might as well just call them the limper drawers, because everything goes limp and you have to throw it away. Even your celery waves goodbye to you as you remove it from the refrigerator. Our bottoms are designed with a grid to allow your moisture to fall from your produce so that it doesn't have to sit in its own sweat.
Yuck.
Fridge Smarts can prolong the life of your produce up to 4 times longer than traditional storage methods. Gone are the days of coming home with your berries and having to throw them away the very next day. You're going to want to put your produce into your Fridge Smarts just like they came home from the grocery store. That is,
Naked, dirty, and dry.
by storing it this way, you keep out that excess moisture that's caused by washing your produce, and it will prolong the life of your fruits and veggies that much longer. And then you can just wash your produce as you go. Most people don't even tend to look into their crisper drawers before they go to the grocery store, because they know the stinky truth. Everything's already gone bad. They know when they go to the store they're going to have to rebuy everything. I personally have kept carrots fresh in my Fridge Smarts for 6 months. I've kept broccoli for 3 to 5 weeks, strawberries up to 3 weeks, button mushrooms are 7 to 12 days, lettuce for 3 to 4 weeks, and even my spinach for 4 to 6 weeks. You know, you think about that bagged lettuce, once you get it home, you open it up, there's not a chance you're going to be able to keep that fresh for more than 72 hours. You know that, and I know that. With Tupperware, you can keep it for 2 weeks. Let me ask you this. How many times a day do you go over to your refrigerator and water your produce? 3 or 4? What? You don't water your produce? Then why do they do that in the grocery store? You mean to tell me you're not watering your produce 100 times a day? Good. They do that at the grocery stores because the human eye is naturally attracted to that moisture. It makes our fruits and veggies look fresh and appealing. However, what it's really doing is killing your produce quicker. Tupperware is the only company with a true airtight seal. Our seal was actually inspired by a paint can seal nearly 70 years ago. What you want to make sure you're not doing is mixing your seeded produce with your non-seeded fruits and veggies. The reason being is that your seeded produce will draw moisture from your non-seeded. So even though you see carrots and cucumbers are in the same category, you're not going to want to mix them. Most people don't even realize what's going on in their crisper drawers. I mean, did you know that your produce breathes at 3 different levels and that you've got some fruits and veggies sucking moisture right out of the other ones?
Who knew?
Your refrigerator fan is actually designed to pull out excess moisture from your refrigerator. Your fridge isn't smart enough to tell you if the moisture is actually coming from the walls of your refrigerator or from your produce. When your refrigerator draws that moisture, it's actually pulling important vitamins and minerals out of your produce as well. But when you store your produce in Fridge Smarts, all of that is preserved. When you invest in just a 4-piece set of Tupperware Fridge Smarts for $84, you will actually begin saving $35 to $75 every single month on your grocery bill. Your $84 investment will pay you back in just 1 to 2 short months. You'll never have to worry about this chart right here rubbing off because it's actually encased between 2 layers of plastic. Another tip I wanted to share on your Fridge Smarts, you never want to be cutting your produce with a metal knife. You're either going to want to break it by hand or use a plastic Tupperware tool such as this, or from time to time we'll see this cake cutter, and this works really amazing for your lettuce. When using a metal knife to cut your produce, it causes your produce to oxidize, and it will actually even leave a rust spot on your produce. Customers are going to want at least 3 of these containers so that they have one for their light breathing produce, one for their medium breathing, and one for their heavy breathing. But I just say go for the $84 set. It's actually valued at $89, but when they buy the 4-piece set, they get it for $84. And like I said, it's going to save them money time and time again. You're actually not going to want to store these within your crisper drawers because they're not going to be very easy to find, right? So either store them on any other rack in your fridge or completely remove your crisper drawers, which is what we have done at our house. We don't even have crisper drawers. We just have Fridge Smarts aligned all along the bottom of our refrigerator. You know, how many times do you hear your kids or someone at your house say, oh, there's nothing to eat? They don't even realize those crisper drawers exist. They've never opened them. Truly, you could probably hide their birthday presents, Christmas presents, money, chocolate in there. Nobody's ever gonna find it because nobody ever goes into those drawers. But you don't want your produce in there. Those drawers are actually where your good intentions go to die. The average family saves between $600 and $1,000 a year just by using Fridge Smarts. Now tell me this, what would you do with an extra $1,000 a year? Another amazing money saver and time saver are our incredible Vent and Serve containers. Vent and Serves are the ultimate leftover solution. A lot of people even come to Tupperware parties thinking that's all we are, leftover bowls. We're not just that, we're so much more. We've gone way beyond leftover bowls. But I do have to admit, our Vent and Serve containers are absolutely incredible. Vent and Serves are actually freezer safe, microwave safe, and dishwasher safe. So you can take your Planovers, put them in your Vent and Serves, store them in the freezer. You can put them in the refrigerator to thaw. Then when it's dinner time, you're gonna pop your silicone vent, put this guy right in the microwave with the seal on, and you're gonna wanna remember to microwave at 70% power in your Vent and Serves.
Why?
Because microwaving at 100% power is actually the equivalent of a 500-degree oven. So you're actually cooking your food versus just reheating it. So remember, 70% power for Vent and Serves. You're gonna pop it in your microwave it for a couple minutes, remove the seal, and dinner's ready. One great thing about Vent and Serves is that they have these little feet on the base, allowing for even reheating and even freezing in your freezer. Vent and Serves go from your freezer to your refrigerator to your microwave, onto your table as a beautiful serving piece, and then to your dishwasher. These are the ultimate solution. Most plastic has pores and is susceptible to stains. However, Vent and Serves are not like other plastics. You will never, ever, ever get a stain in your Vent and Serves. Vent and Serves are even stain resistant. Who can beat that? Think of all the times you've stored sloppy joes or maybe spaghetti or chili in your other plastic bowls. I'm not mentioning any names, but you know who I'm talking about. Many of those bowls aren't microwave reheatable. Many of those bowls are not BPA free, but we are both. You will also never get that ring around the plastic, that white pitting in our vent and serve containers. You will never get that. The handles actually have a texture to them, so it makes it easy to grasp onto them, as well as they stay cool to the touch. So when you remove them from the microwave with the handles, you won't burn your hands. Think about if you work outside of the home, or if you have customers who work outside of the home, think about when they take any other kind of container to work with their leftovers in them, and you can't microwave with the seal on. So they put it in the microwave, and there's stuff splatter, their pizza and their spaghetti and their whatever it is they're eating, their lean cuisine, whatever it is splattering all over the microwave, right? That work microwave is not very clean, and it's pretty crusty on the top of the microwave. And when the next person comes into the break room to use the microwave, they also don't have a seal for their container, and they're reheating it, and they're actually getting sprinkled. They're seasoning their lunch with everybody else's leftovers. Like, think about it like that. Like, that's pretty disgusting. But when you go to work outside of the home, or you send hubby to work with lunch, and he's got his vent and serves, he keeps his seal on, so his lunch is not getting seasoned with everybody else's leftovers. And he's probably bringing home a sale or two for you as well. Vent and serves actually have an easy open tab on the side, so the seals remove easy. And the seals are interchangeable, so if you've got your Fridge Smart Deep and a Fridge Smart Shallow, you don't have to wonder which seal fits which, because they both fit each other. Our vent and serve containers actually have a fill line too, so if you are freezing food, it allows it that extra room to expand. You can even make recipes in your vent and serves. You can take half a package of oatmeal cookies, crumble them up on the bottom, take a can of pie filling, any kind. You can do cherry, apple, really doesn't matter. And then the other half of the cookies crumbled on top. You can put the seal on and vent, and microwave for 4 minutes, and you have the perfect little apple crisp, or peach cobbler, or cherry crisp, whatever flavor you desire. You can even go under files on the Harmony Sales Facebook page and find all kinds of recipes for the vent and serves. You can even make baked potatoes in your vent and serves, which is really handy for the summer when you don't want to turn on your oven. It's about 3 to 4 minutes per potato, and you don't even have to wrap it, you don't have to poke holes in it, nothing like that. Just put a couple of potatoes in your vent and serve, pop the vent and start at 3 minutes, and go from there. Now we are going to talk about our freeze-it containers. These are actually designed with a modular design, so they stack nicely when they're in your freezer. And if you ever don't have these in use, you can store the large one inside of a small one, and it takes up less space in your cabinets. However, if you're anything like me, you're going to have them all in use at any given time. The same stacking method actually goes for your Fridge Smarts and your vent and serves as well. So if you don't have these in use, which you'd be silly not to, but let's just say in the occasion that you don't have them all in use, you can actually store this medium deep inside of the medium shallow, and he'll take up less space in your cabinets. So just a little did you know. So back to the freeze-it. They'll take up less space if you stack them with a small one on the bottom. Our freeze-it containers allow you to prepare and plan meals in advance. So some of you are familiar with our Great Master Shredder. It's absolutely amazing. So what I do is when we buy cheese in bulk when it's on sale, we will go shred a bunch of cheese up with our Great Master and store it in a freeze-it container. Pop the seal on, and we'll put a little label on here saying what kind of cheese it is and how much is in here, as well as the date. And throw it in the freezer, and when it comes time for taco night, or whenever we might need shredded cheese, if we want nachos or whatever, you can just pull this container out and let it thaw, and we've got our cheese ready to go. So one tip for freezing your cheese, if you add a little cornstarch to your container, it's not going to stick together. And while we're on that topic of bagged cheese, I gotta tell you guys, many of us were guilty. You may or may not buy the bagged shredded cheese, and I'm gonna tell you why that's a no-no. Bagged shredded cheese actually has an ingredient called cellulose. They have all kinds of additives in bagged cheese to help kind of keep it fresh on the shelf longer. Cellulose is actually made with wood pulp, so if you like eating wood pulp, I mean, go ahead and keep buying your bagged cheese, but it's actually a lot healthier and cheaper when you shred it yourself. When you can normally get bagged cheese on sale for $11, you can actually fill 13 bags for $11. On top of cheese, I brown my hamburger in advance too. When we buy it in bulk on sale, I'll brown it in my stack cooker. And again, I'll use my freeze-it containers, and I'll put, 1 pound and then the date on it so I know. And that actually makes for a really easy, fast taco night as well. And if you chop your onions in advance too, if you buy those in bulk at all, you can also store those and freeze it. So my children are a fan of toaster strudels, so we take everything right out of the box when we get home. Nothing stays in a box in our house. So we take it out and we'll store their toaster strudels in one of our freeze-it containers. When we buy bagged fruits or vegetables, we open up those bags as well and we store them in our freeze-it containers so that they don't get that freezer burn. When you're using your freeze-it containers, if you have any bit of space in your container, the air actually will turn into crystals and will have little snowflake-looking designs sitting on your food, but if you actually take and ball up a bunch of wax paper and just fill that excess space, you won't have that crystallization. I don't buy wax paper. It rips too easy. I don't have those kind of things in my house. I don't need them. I have Tupperware. But you guys know that we're so big on our cereal stores as well, so you think about that cereal comes out of a really nice wax type bag. And so what I will do is actually, put my cereal right when I get home from the store into a cereal store, and I will reuse that bag and fill up that space in my freeze-it container. So as you can imagine, guys, if you take all the open bags you have in your freezer right now, maybe you've got chicken nuggets and french fries and frozen strawberries and whatever it might be, you probably, if that's the case, you probably have a really crummy mess in the bottom of your freezer. Freeze-its are actually, they're such a lifesaver for that. Like, they're modular design, like everything in my freezer is in freeze-it containers and it's completely labeled and it's just so easy to find everything. There's no mess, there's no freezer burn, and makes for an easy dinner, and it's just nice to have that organization. So lastly here, I wanted to talk about, seriously, this product is an absolute staple and a must-have for every single kitchen. So right here we've got our modular mates. And I'm going to be honest, guys, when I joined Tupperware, I had my first party and I was my own host, of course. So the modular mates were the bonus host offer, and I decided to choose them because they were a better value than if I were to just take a random shopping spree from the catalog. So I decided to go with them, but I didn't realize the significance of modular mates. They're not as fun and as colorful looking as some of our products, right? I'm just being honest. So I actually I had the super set, which was all of the oval containers and all of the rectangle containers, and I stored them in the top of my bedroom closet for the longest time, not realizing that these could be saving me so much money if only they were in my kitchen being used in the right way. One day I decided I was just tired of throwing away crummy, nasty old graham crackers and rebuying them every time we were going to have a bonfire because we thought we were out of them, when in fact we probably had 4 boxes in our pantry and all of them were open, but they were spilling all over the place. There was just a big mess, right? So I actually brought that set of modular mates into my kitchen, and oh my gosh, I've not looked back since. I now have over 60 modular mates in my kitchen. Yes, that's a 6 and a 0. And the average kitchen needs about 50 to cover all of the dry foods that you might have in your kitchen. So I'm not too far off of that number. Modular mates, guys, they're going to keep your dry food fresh. So that would be, your crackers, your chips, your flour, your sugar, powdered sugar, chocolate chips, like anything you might need. We actually have 5 centers of modular mates: pasta center, beverage center, snack center, baking center, and our breakfast center. So those are our 5 different centers that you can utilize with our modular mates. And they actually keep your dry food fresh, guys. I'm not joking here. This is unbelievable. For at least 1 full year. Amazing. So regardless of the date on your bag of chips or maybe your box of crackers, it doesn't matter. Your modular mates are going to keep your food fresh for at least a year. Incredible, right? So what you guys are looking at right here are our modular mate rectangle containers. We have our rectangle 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our modular mates always come in 4 different shapes. We've got rectangle, super oval, oval, and square. What you guys are seeing here are our rectangle containers. So we've got a rectangle 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our rectangle and square containers are sold in 4 different sizes. We have size 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then our oval and super oval modular mates are sold in 5 different sizes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the really fun part about modular mates is that they're modular and they are like Legos for ladies. That's what we like to call them. When you take your 4 here and you take your 3 and your 1 and stack them on top of each other, they equal to 4, right? You guys following me? Do you guys like your math? I tend to not like math so much, but I can handle it in the case of modular mates. And then we've got this lonely 2 sitting right here. But when I take another 2 and I add it together, we've got 2 plus 2 equals 4, 1 plus 3 equals 4, and then 4 equals 4. So it's really nice. You can definitely, if you have any case of OCD at all, you can definitely cure that with your modular mates. And then I wanted to mention as well that the length of your modular mate rectangle seal is the same length as your super oval seal. So they stack really nicely in your cabinet. And same goes for your square seal with your oval seal. They stack just perfectly. So you can mix and match the different sizes, you know, your super oval with your rectangle and your oval with your square. And then the difference between the super oval and the oval is just the depth there. So you guys see that. The super oval is just longer. So any standard cupboard size in America, our rectangle 3 here is actually the height and the depth of an international cupboard size. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. And the really nice thing about some newer houses, they have the removable shelving so that you can kind of determine your height, which I have done actually in my baking cupboard as well. I've just removed those shelves so that I can go as high as I want to go. You know, how many of you are fans of going to, you know, Sam's Club or Costco, buying your food in bulk, right? Because you save money. Well, you really aren't saving money if you're throwing that food away in the end because it's not staying fresh. So modular mates are going to definitely help you out with that. If you store your brown sugar, you know, brown sugar tends to get hard after time. If you've ever had that rock hard brown sugar, you're never going to have that with your modular mates. It's going to keep it fresh. I actually know somebody, a friend of mine, has had the same bag of brown sugar in one of her oval modular mates for 7 years. 7 years. And she brings it to every party and everybody smells it and everybody touches it and it's just as fresh as the day she bought it. So of course she does not use that brown sugar, she does not eat it, but it's just a really good thing to think about, a good way to put it into perspective. Like, it truly does prolong the life of your food. You know, you guys know what a typical pantry looks like or a typical snack cupboard, or it's just a mess. It's a disaster. There's a scattered mess. You've got chip clips on your bags everywhere and it's chaos, right? But when you have a modular mate kitchen, guys, like, I swear, when you open up my pantry, angels sing. Like, I am not kidding. Like, my pantry is just, it's like heaven in there. With our modular mates, you're actually able to organize your stuff. For instance, I've got all my cake supplies in here. So I've got my sprinkles, cupcake liners, my food coloring, all of that kind of stuff. It just has its own little home right in here. And this guy right here has actually got all my s'more fixings. So if we've got Hershey's chocolate in the house, it's right in here. If we've got any open packages of graham crackers, it's going to go in here, as well as any open packages of marshmallows. And I actually even have one of my rectangle containers is actually for my salad toppings. So if I've got any little bit of bacon bits or croutons, any open bags, I will just put them all into that modular mate so that, you know, if it's salad night at our house, we can pull out that modular mate and everything's right there for us. Modular mates are actually Orkin Man recommended. They actually keep the bugs out of your food. So if you guys have ever bought any groceries, maybe flour or a box of pasta, and had bugs in it, modular mates are going to help you out there. I have never suffered from that problem, or if I have, I've eaten bugs, and I don't even know it, but I'm just going to pretend I've never had bugs in my food. But if you actually buy, maybe it's a bag of flour, and you put it into your modular mate, and those bugs, they're actually called weevils, but 24 hours after you put your food, you know, whether it's your pasta or your flour or whatever it might be with bugs in it, 24 hours later, you're going to pick the seal up, and all of the bugs are going to be dead and stuck to the top because they tried to escape and there was nowhere to go and there was no air for them. So they're attracted to the glue in your packaging. So you know, the glue that holds your cereal box shut, or your pasta box, or the glue that holds your bag of flour shut, that's what they're attracted to. So many times people are taking them home, they don't even know they're in there. And if you think about having a bag of flour in your pantry and you've got the weevils in there, I'm getting itchy just thinking about it. Those weevils are going to make their way into all of your other fruits. So if you've got maybe an open box, maybe it's your flour that has the bugs in it, and you have that in your cupboard with your bag of goldfish that wasn't affected by weevils, but now it is, and it's just a disaster for your whole kitchen. It's just not where you want to be. So pretty certain it's safe to say that nobody out there wants bugs in their food. So modular mates are going to help you with that. And I actually talked to somebody one time who lived on the East Coast and lived through a hurricane, and their home got evacuated. They had actually had all of their important documents, you know, their birth certificate, their passport, all of that kind of stuff in a modular mate. And they were evacuated for a couple of weeks, and when they came home, you know, almost everything was destroyed. And their modular mate with all of their documents had floated from room to room, but everything inside was completely untouched. So there was not any water in it. I mean, these are just completely airtight and liquid tight. So that definitely saved that person a lot of hassle. So, I mean, these can survive through a hurricane, you guys. It's pretty amazing. So those are the 4 sets I encourage you guys to really get to understand. Hopefully you guys took notes tonight and you really want to know these products inside and buying these items in sets instead of just one individual piece, because let's be honest, if all you did was buy one rectangle modular mate, what are you going to do with that? I mean, maybe store it in your junk drawer with a bunch of pens or pencils. I mean, that's not what we want to be doing. That's not going to serve its purpose if they're not using it the right way and having a whole system. So definitely really an eye-opener. So I just definitely recommend you guys know these products inside and out. If you guys have any questions on them, let me know. You can go to your Salesforce website at any time, and there's files on all of these products. We've got files on the Harmony Sales Facebook page as well. Make sure you're familiar with these products. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. I look forward to seeing how it works to bring your party average up. Thanks for watching.